So today I'm going to be installing and telling you everything you need to know about this pop-up gazebo tent here. This is the pack that it comes in. This is about 3 feet wide here, just for reference in case you're packing this into your car or something like that. So let's open this thing up, see what's inside of here, and get this thing all installed. Okay, so inside this bag you have, of course, the base itself. We have this little box here that has a little solar panel thing on top of it. You have instructions. You have the thing that goes around the tent to kind of like put it around this. This is the actual tarp that goes on top. And then you have this little bag which has stakes and then your rope inside of here as well. So before you go and finish like setting up the tent here, you do want to make sure to put this in on the top here. You can see there's just a little plug that this goes on for the little solar panel there. So we'll get that before we go through and extend the rest of this. Okay, so now we got this screwed on to the top here. So now all we're going to do is go through and you want to get this. You can see there's like a little hole right here. You want to grab this and then this little thing comes out and there's a little pocket right here that you want that to stick into. So we're going to go and do that on all 4 corners. And for this next part here, once I went through and kind of lifted up all those little red things on there, was to now spread out the actual canopy or pop-up tent itself. I thought this was going to be a lot harder with just me, myself, and didn't even know if it was going to be possible. But as you can see, I just had to kind of go corner by corner and slowly rotate it out. And it definitely worked. You can do this and set this up completely all by yourself if you needed to. It certainly would have been faster with 2 people, but I was able to do it, as you can see, all by myself. Okay, so what we need to do on all 4 of these corners is lift this up to get it into this little bracket right here to click it in. So you just kind of go through and click it, just like that. You hear that little click? And I just knocked that out of frame, but you get the idea. Okay, so you can see we have it almost up. Now we gotta go through and raise this. It's pretty low here. We're gonna raise it. What you want to do is go on each leg. And there's this little clamp right here. When you click that, you want to keep your foot down. You can see I can go through and lift these up. So that's what we're gonna go through and do. And you can see here, I just went through and put these little stakes in here. Make sure this thing doesn't blow away at all. It's really nice that they have this to keep it in place. So I just went through and you can basically just push these in on all the different corners. Okay, and what we're gonna do now is grab these little Velcro straps here and just go through and put those all along the frame here. Can't do it with one hand, but yeah, you just go through and put these in just like that. So there's a couple of those on all the different frames, so we'll go through and do that. So now we're gonna grab this string and we're gonna loop it around all of these loops. You can see there's a bunch of different loops all around here. So we're gonna go through and loop this around the entire thing. Okay, so now you can see I got the string along here. And one thing that I didn't do when I first did this, and I learned that you wanna also not only run it through these loops right here, but in this corner, you can see there's a little hole where you wanna run it through all the different corners. That's what helps keep it tight. So the first time I did it, I didn't run it through these corners here, and it felt a little loose, and I was wondering why, and then I looked a little bit closer at the instructions, and you wanna run through here as well. Okay, and you can see we got the curtain kind of around here. Basically the way that these work is they're just little clamps, almost like a shower curtain that you go through and put around the loop. There's enough to cover all 4 sides of this. I've only put half of them on here. The nice thing is too, there's a little zip door on all of them in between. So you can see I could keep going and putting it all the way around, but I'm gonna cut it off right here because you kind of get the idea. But that's kind of the netting right here. And the great thing about this is if you wanted to take this down real easily, we can go through and unzip this and I'll show you, you can put it kind of against the railing here. And of course with these legs, you do have 3 different height settings. So you have the low, medium, high. I do recommend when you are installing this, keeping it on the low. That way you can get up to like the strings and everything. Once it's installed, then going through and lifting it up like I do. Okay, and to keep these legs down, you can see they have these nice little hooks right here. And there's a hole on the bottom right there. They just go in and pop in just like that. Keep those there. Basically keep the leg looking nice. And you can see with these curtains, it comes with this little tie right here. If you didn't want these, hanging down like they are, you can go through and tie these to the pole right here. And the last thing that this does come with is ropes and stakes. So what you can do is run a rope along here and then go through and stake these down. It does come with the rope as well, which is really nice. So it seems like they've honestly thought about everything when it comes to this. Let me scoot back and give you a closer view of what everything looks like. And here's what it looks like when it's all installed. It looks really nice. I'm really happy with it, and it was actually a lot easier to install than I was expecting. It's a good height. There's lots of things that I do like about it when we take a closer look that I'll go over. One is it actually started raining on me a little bit when I was setting this up, and this is very rainproof. The rain just was like flowing right off. Speaking of rain as well, they do have these nice little things here to help it so this doesn't get bogged down on top of here, which is nice. And then of course, this is a great feature if you wanted to get rid of the flies or have a little bit of privacy. You can go through and put these down. This does go all the way around if you wanted it to, but you can see I have 2 more here that I just didn't install in the front that I might do later. There's a lot of room up top here, which is great. And then of course you can go through and adjust these on the sides. And then for the curtains, has this nice little strap to go through and keep everything nice and organized. There's a ton of room underneath here. I love how portable this thing is. It could act either just as, you know, setting it up for a one-time thing or keeping it in my backyard just like I have it now, like kind of permanently. Here's what the top looks like. And then it has this nice, I think that's like a little like wind thing to help the wind not kind of pick it up, which is great. So overall, I'm super happy with this thing. The color, the design, it turned out really well. Oh, also one other thing important to note is it does come with this nice little remote as well to control the light up there, which is pretty cool. You have all sorts of different, you know, you can turn it on and off and then different settings inside of here. So another great feature on top of everything else with this thing. And you can see this is what the lights look like when they are on. You can see they go all the way down and up and around here.